Be open enough to see opportunities, be wise enough to be grateful, be courageous enough to be happy. So with that, I hope everyone is ready for the new beginning. So let's start this day right. What you need to know in this lesson is that at the end of this lesson, you are expected to identify and describe quadratic equations, illustrate quadratic equations using appropriate representations, and formulate quadratic equations as illustrated in some real-life situations. And in order to attain these expectations, let us now start our discussion. Let us now have the definition of quadratic equation. Quadratic equation in one variable is a mathematical sentence of degree 2, meaning in order to call it as a quadratic equation, the equation must have a highest exponent of 2. A quadratic equation can be written in its standard form, and it is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers, and a must not be equals to 0. When we say real numbers, the number must be existing, or it can be located in a number line. Also, it emphasizes that only the value of a must not be equal to 0, meaning the values of b and c could be 0. Here is the reason why we cannot replace a by 0. In ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, ax squared is the quadratic term, bx is the linear term, and c is the constant term. So meaning ax squared is the term that will define the equation as a quadratic. So if you replace a by 0, the quadratic term will be eliminated. And if that happens, we cannot call the equation as quadratic equation. And that is the reason why a must not be equal to 0. Here are some examples of quadratic equations and non-quadratic equations. So for quadratic equations, we have x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 0, 3x squared minus x equals 2, 5 equals 4x squared. So as you can see, the three given have the degree of 2, or the highest exponent is 2, and all of the numbers used are real numbers. Next, for non-quadratic equation, number 1, x minus 3 equals 0, number 2, x equals 5, and for number 3, x cubed plus 3x squared minus x plus 2 equals 0. The given are not quadratic equations because as you can see, the first two examples do not have an exponent of 2, while the third example has a highest exponent of 3. So that is why they are not an example of quadratic equations. Let us now have different illustrative examples. So for number 1, the given is 3x squared minus 4x plus 5 equals to 0. So we're going to determine if the given example is a quadratic equation. Okay, we have 2 as the highest exponent. We have 3x squared, which is our quadratic term, followed by negative 4x, which is our linear term, and then 5 as our constant term. It is already equated to 0. So meaning example number 1 is a quadratic equation in standard form. Example number 2. The given is x times x minus 1 equals to 0. So for the solution, so we have the given, we're going to multiply x to x minus 1. So 1 by 1, x times x is x squared. X times negative 1 is negative x and then equals to 0. So it is now written in standard form. So x raised to 2 is our quadratic term. Negative x is our linear term. And as you can see, we don't have the value for the constant term. So meaning our constant term is equals to 0. So for the next two examples, we're going to identify the values of a, b, and c. Okay, for example number 5, the given is 3x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals to 0. So this is an example of quadratic equation in standard form. The value of a is the number besides x squared. So for this example, that is 3. So the value of A is 3. Next, for the value of B, so that is the number besides variable x. So again, for this example, that is negative 2. And last, for the value of C, so that is the constant. So for this example, that is 1. So the value of C is 1. Okay, for the next example, the given is x squared minus 1 equals to 0. So again, this is a quadratic equation in standard form. So for the value of A, again, that is the number besides x squared. So for this example, we don't have a number besides x squared. So that is automatic equal to 1. So the value of A is 1. And then we don't have the value for the middle term. So because we don't have the linear term, so we're going to write B equals to 0. And last, for the value of C, so we have negative 1. For the next 3 examples, we're going to rewrite the given quadratic equations into standard form. So for number 7, the given is 3x minus 5x squared equals to 4. For the solution, we have the given. So the first step is to add negative 3x plus 5x squared on both sides. So that is also known as the addition property. So that will become 3x minus 5x squared minus 3x plus 5x squared equals 4 minus 3x plus 5x squared. So let's start with the left side. As you can see, we can cancel 3x and negative 3x. So same with negative 5x squared and 5x squared. So meaning on the left side, so we have now 0. Then we're going to copy what is written on the right side, which is 4 minus 3x plus 5x squared. So now let's simplify the given. So that will become 5x squared followed by negative 3x and then positive 4 equals 0. So this is now the standard form of the given equation. For number 8, the given is x squared equals 4 minus 2x. For the solution, we have the given. Next step, add negative 4 plus 2x on both sides. So we have now x squared minus 4 plus 2x equals 4 minus 2x minus 4 plus 2x. So bring down what is written on the left side, then equal sign. Then for the right side, we're going to cancel 4 and negative 4. Same with negative 2x and positive 2x. So this is now equal to 0. Then simplify the given. We have now x squared followed by 2x and then negative 4, then equals 0. So this is now the standard form of the given. For number 9, the given is x squared minus 5 plus 12x equals 11x minus 3. So for the solution, we have the given. Next step is to add negative 11x plus 3 on both sides. So we have now x squared minus 5 plus 12x minus 11x plus 3 equals 11x minus 3 minus 11x plus 3. So for the left side, bring down first x squared and then combine like terms. So we have 12x minus 11x. So the answer is x. Another like terms, we have negative 5 and 3. So negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2. Then equal sign. Then for the right side, we're going to cancel 11x and negative 11x. So same with negative 3 and positive 3. So we have now equals to 0. And then this is the standard form of the given. For the last 2 examples, we're going to deal with word problem. So for example number 10, we have a rectangular lot with an area of 30 meters square has a length of 1 meter longer than its width. Representing this as a quadratic equation will give you, so for the solution, ang una natin kailangan tignan ay what are the given in the problem. So isa sa given in the problem is about the area of the rectangle. So nakalagay that the area of the rectangle is 30 meters square. So another information is about the length of the rectangle. nakalagay, length of the rectangle is 1 meter longer than its width. Ibig sabihin, mas mahaba ng 1 meter si length kesa kay width. For example, if ang width ay 3, ang length ay 4. Kung ang width ay 7, ang length ay 8. Kung ang width ay 22, ang length ay 23. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng 1 meter longer than its width. So, we're going to represent now W for the width, then L for the length. So, meaning, length now is equal to W plus 1. So, since we don't have the exact value for the width, so this is now the given in the problem. So, since ang binigay na information sa problem is about the area, so we need to recall what is the formula for the area of the rectangle. So, the formula for the area of the rectangle is area equals length times width. So, ito yung mga information na kailangan natin para magawa natin yung quadratic equation. So, for the first step now, we're going to substitute the values to the formula in terms of W. So, we're going to replace area, yung length, and then yung width. So, isa-isahin natin. For the area, so we're going to replace that with 30. So, next, yung equal sign. Then, for the length naman, so we're going to substitute W plus 1 kasi yun yung binigay na value. So, W plus 1. Then, for the W, so wala naman binigay na representation, so W pa rin siya. So, ito yung magiging umpisa ng equation natin. So, next step, use the distributive property on multiplying W plus 1 and W. So, bring down first yung 30. So, isa-isahin natin. W times W is W square. W times 1 is W. So, next step, add negative 30 on both sides of the equation. So, that will become 30 minus 30 equals W square plus W minus 30. So, let's start with the left side. So, sa left side, ika-cancel lang natin kasi 30 minus 30 is equal to 0. Then, bring down equal sign. Then, copy lang natin whatever written on the right side. So, that is W square plus W minus 30. Then, simplify natin. So, W square plus W minus 30 equals to 0. So, ito na ngayon yung ating standard form or yung ating quadratic equation in standard form. For the last example, we have Tim is twice as old as Mitch. The product of their ages is 18. To represent this in a quadratic equation, we will translate the given information first. So, nakalagay, Tim is twice as old as Mitch. So, ibig sabihin, whatever the age of Mitch, mumultiply lang natin yun sa 2, yun yung magiging age ni Tim. So, for example, kung si Mitch ay 3, si Tim ay 6. Kung si Mitch ay 4, si Tim ay 8. Kung si Mitch ay 10, si Tim ay 20. So, multiply lang by 2. Pero since hindi natin alam yung age ni Mitch, we're going to represent that by X. And next, sinabi, twice as old, so meaning, the age of Tim is 2X. So, since wala pa kasing age si Mitch, so X lang. So, X times 2, so magiging 2X. So, another information na binigay, the product of their ages is 18. So, meaning, pag multiply natin yung age ng dalawa, ang magiging sagot ay 18. So, multiply natin. Magiging 2x times x equals 18. So, ito na ngayon yung magiging simula ng ating equation. So, first step, we're going to multiply 2x and x. So, 2x times x, the answer is 2x squared. Then, bring down lang natin si 18. Next step, we're going to divide both sides of the equation by 2. So, divide natin by 2. So, for the left side, makakancel lang si 2. So, ang matitira, x squared. Then, for the right side, so 18 divided by 2, so the answer is positive 9. Then, from here, we're going to add negative 9 on both sides of the equation. So magiging x squared minus 9 equals 9 minus 9. So dun sa left side, bibring down lang natin. Then dun sa right side, makakancel lang yon. Kasi 9 minus 9 ay 0 lang. And this will be the quadratic equation of the given problem. So yun ay magiging sagot. X squared minus 9 equals 0. And this is now the last example for our first learning competency. So I hope everything is clear for the 11 examples. Pero if you have your questions, pwede nyo pa rin i-address yung questions ninyo sa inyong respective mathematics teachers. So for now, we'll be having a sample activity. So this sample activity ay guide ninyo once po na nagsagot na kayo ng inyong modules. So for activity number 1, which of the following is or are example of quadratic equations? So I will be giving you 5 examples of equation, then you're going to identify kung siya ba ay quadratic or not. So now, sa pagsasagot, if you have your notebook for your notes on an extra paper, so dun nyo na lang ilagay yung magiging sagot ninyo for the different activities. So let's now have the equations. Equation number 1, 4x squared equals to 5. Equation number 2, 5x cubed minus 3x equals 2. For number 3, we have 4 minus 3x equals 0. For number 4, 7x squared equals to 5x. And for number 5, we have negative 3x squared equals to 5x cubed. So, susulat nyo lang kung anong number ang quadratic equation. So, yun ba ay 5, 3, 2, 1, or 4. So, I will be giving you 10 seconds para isulat kung anong number ang quadratic equation. So, time starts now. Okay po, so time's up. So, ang sagot natin for this activity ay, so we have two examples of quadratic equation. So, sila si example number 1 at si number 4. Kasi sila lang yung equations na may pinakamataas na exponent na 2. Si number 2 at si number 5 ay merong 3 na exponent. Si number 3 naman, wala siyang exponent. So, yun po yung sagot natin for activity number 1. Next activity, the direction is to rewrite the following quadratic equations if needed, into standard form and then identify the 3 terms. So, magbibigay po ako ng dalawang equations. So, kung hindi pa naka-standard form, gagawing standard form and then identify si quadratic term, linear term, and constant term. So, meron tayong dalawang equation. So, the first equation is x squared plus x minus 2 equals to 0. Second equation, 5x squared equals negative 2x. So, again, i-identify nyo lang what are the different terms, si quadratic, si linear, tsaka si constant term. So, make sure na naka-standard form na yan yung mga equations bago nyo ma-identify si terms. So, for this activity, so I'll be giving you 20 seconds. So, time starts now. So, time's up again. So, for example number 1, so si number 1 ay already written in standard form. So, hindi natin siya gagalawin pa. So, diretso tayo sa pag-identify ng different terms. So, for number 1, quadratic term is x squared, linear term is x, then constant term is negative 2. So, for number 2 naman, so ito yung hindi pa naka-standard form. So, we need to rewrite first si equation sa standard form. And the standard form is 5x squared plus 2x equals to 0. And then since naka-standard form na, pwede natin identify yung different terms. So ang sagot, quadratic term is 5x squared, linear term is 2x, and then the constant term is 0. So this is now our activity number 2. So I hope lahat po ay nakakuha ng tamang sagot for these 2 activities. Let us now proceed with activity number 3. Directions: rewrite quadratic equation into standard form and identify the values of a, b, and c. So equation number 1 is x squared plus 3x plus 28 equals to 0. Second equation is 2x minus 12x squared equals to 15. So again, before identifying the values of a, b, and c, so make sure po na nakasulat na sila sa standard form. So again, 20 seconds to answer this activity. So 20 seconds starts now. Okay, so time's up. So for number 1, it is already written in standard form. So we're going to proceed now in identifying the values of A, B, and C. So the values are A is 1, B is 3, C is 28. So for number 2, so this time ito yung hindi pa naka-standard form. So you need to rewrite it first sa standard form before identifying the values of A, B, and C. So the standard form is 12x squared minus 2x plus 15 equals to 0. So that is the standard form. So now for the values, the value of A is 12, the value of B is negative 2, and C is 15. So I hope na tama yung naging mga sagot ninyo sa activity number 3. And for the last activity, activity number 4, so directions, write the quadratic equation of the given word problem. So there are two word problem. So number 1 is the length of the rectangle is greater than its width by 3 meters and its area is 10 meters square. Second problem, Sally is 3 times as old as John. The product of their ages is 75. So for activity number 4, ibibigay ko na po yung sagot. So for number 1, the answer is w squared plus 3w minus 10 equals to 0. Then for number 2, x squared minus 25 equals to 0. So ang kailangan nyo na lang pong gawin ay yung pinaka-solution. So you need to come up with these answers. So kailangan once na sinagutan nyo si number 1, si number 2, ang magiging sagot ninyo ay yung w squared plus 3w minus 10 equals to 0. And then for number 2, x squared minus 25 equals to 0. So, para malaman ninyo at ma-assess nyo rin po yung sarili ninyo kung naintindihan nyo ba talaga yung discussion. So, for doubt, so congratulations po at natapos ninyo yung video lesson na to. So, for the reminders, now that you finished this video, you may now answer the what's more part of your module. So, yun po ay nakasulat sa pages 9 to 16 and 28. So, with that, so thank you and good luck so while answering your module.